spending time with her husband, friends, family, including her 12 grandchildren. In her spare time, she connects and celebrates with the women involved in motorsports, taking you behind the wall about their journey of life, racing, and how they juggle everything to make it all work. Welcome to Racing Girls Rock Podcast. Strap in, window nets up, the pedals are down, and when the green flag drops, we go.
Hello, everyone. This is Melinda Russell with Racing Girls Rock Podcast. And my guest today is Jordan. Jordan, I'm going to mess up your last name. Is it Druschke?
Druschke.
Druschke. I think I've asked you that before, and I hate to do that, but sorry about that. Jordan Druschke. And so we're going to learn a little bit more about Jordan today and why she's involved in motorsports and all of that about her. So Jordan's on fall break. So we're going to be able to connect this week, which is good. So Jordan, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, like where you live, you know, how old are you, where do you go to school, your parents, your pets, anything like that about yourself personally, so we can get to know a little bit more about you.
All right. I'm 14. I live in Elgin, Oklahoma. I also go to Elgin High School for school, and recently we just got a new kitten to add to the family. She's currently over there rolling around in the rug. So.
Okay, and you live with your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any brothers or sisters?
2 brothers.
And are they older or younger?
They're both younger than me.
Okay, so you're the oldest in the family. So you got 2 little brothers. That's interesting. I had 2 older sisters, and so I never had any brothers to deal with. So is that are they little, or are they closer to you in age?
Well, one's 12, which is about 2 years away from me, and then one's 5. So
okay, so 5 can be a little challenging.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah, for sure. So Jordan, you go to school. What's your favorite thing in school? What's your favorite class, or do you have one?
So far it's a tie between Spanish and geometry.
Oh gosh, geometry. Mm-hmm. So you like math?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good if you're going to be involved in racing. There's a lot of math things that you can apply to racing, aren't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So what do your classmates think about you driving a race car?
I feel like some of them know, but some of them don't at the same time. But the ones that know are pretty impressed by it.
Yeah, so I figured so, because it's not that normal for a girl, you know, in school to be driving a race car. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, for sure. So do you have any thoughts about after high school? What do you want to do?
So far, not yet. But okay. I hope that I still am racing so far. So
yeah. And so what is your goal for racing then?
Honestly, just to go as far as I can.
Okay. All right. And so why don't you tell us then a little bit about how you got started racing, and then just tell us your story, and then like what you're racing now, what kind of car, and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. This is a weird way to start, but my dad was invited to a birthday party by one of his friends, and it was at a little go-kart track. So everyone was going, and I saw it, and I wanted to go on, but I was too short. So the owner would let me go after everyone went by myself, and he was really impressed by it. And he was like, "Hey, you should try racing one of these." And he showed me a go-kart, and I was instantly in love. So, and that leads to now, which right now I am racing a 250 Outlaw, and in the winter series I'm also going to be racing the 250, and then whenever the outdoor series starts again, I hopefully will be racing a non-wing and a 500.
Wow. So you're going to be busy.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be. So who helps you with your cars? Who does all the mechanical work and stuff?
My dad.
I figured as much.
And my dad, and then my racing team, the Kirk Berkeley Racing, right? Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Usually keep them.
So how's your mom involved in racing? What does she do?
she just supports me. And whenever she comes to my races, she handles my brothers and all that. But
Yeah.
overall, she supports me.
Okay. All right. So this is really kind of a daughter dad thing that you do, which is pretty common,
Yeah.
that I have girls that I talk to. So, but that's kind of a fun thing that, and a lot of the dads don't have any sons. So it seems like the daughter that races is kind of the son they never had, but your dad has a couple boys, but they're young yet. And so do either one of them show any interest in racing?
The 5-year-old does.
Okay.
Whenever he's at my races, he's everywhere. He's in love with the track.
Okay.
Can never get enough of it.
That's good. That's good. So maybe he'll carry on some of the things too.
He might.
Yeah, he might. So besides racing, are there other activities? Do you play softball or anything, or is racing pretty much the main activity?
Racing is pretty much the main activity I do. I don't do any other sports.
Okay. Because it does take a lot of time, even in the off, when you're not at the racetrack, is really when you spend a lot of time, because you've got to always be working on the cars, cleaning them up, fixing them, doing whatever. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, do you have any superstitions or lucky charms or anything that you do before you race every time?
Okay. So before every race, before we go out and I go out and race, oh goodness. But before all that, me and my dad used to do like a little prayer while I'm in the car. And then once we go out there, we kind of just do what we all can. And then a superstition that I have is no green, no 13 on the track, no number 13. And then don't eat chicken the day of the race.
So tell me about the car. What color is it? What number is it? And how did you choose your number?
Originally my cart was green, like a weird neon yellow green, and my number was 13. And I didn't have terrible luck with it, but it just wasn't for me. So one race we decided that we would change my number to 1J, which it still currently is. And that was my very first win on a dirt track. So we just kept it ever since.
Well, yeah, that's your lucky number.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what kind of, did you win a heat race or a feature? What was it?
I won a feature, I think. Was it? Yep. My first feature on dirt track.
Nice. So that's exciting. And now the car has good luck instead of bad. So
it still has off days.
Well, everybody does. So is that your most memorable moment, or are there other things that are more memorable than that in your racing career?
Oh, that's definitely my most memorable. If anything, that's the first thing that I would think of if you ask me my biggest win or something.
Okay. All right. So do you have a favorite person that you like to race against, or a least favorite person?
Ooh. I like racing against everyone. It's everyone has a different racing style. They're all different challenges that you have to come across in order to beat them or race against them. So overall, I don't really have a favorite, nor do I have someone that I don't like to race against. Okay. It's just whoever I race against.
All right. So do you have a favorite track that you've been to, or do you always race at the same track?
We flip-flop everywhere. We go like Cam, Minko, Shawnee. There's another one. Where was it? Altus. There it is. Popped in my head. But my favorite ones are probably Minko and Shawnee.
Okay. All right. And what state are those in?
They're both in Oklahoma.
Okay. Just checking. Making sure that you're not going across the border somewhere to race somewhere else. So what is something that a driver does on or off the track that annoys you?
Oh, on the track is definitely if the line, it looks like they have a straight line, like their line's all made up, they're not going to squiggle, and then right as they come off the corner or something, they squoggle and it messes everybody up.
Yeah.
So then it puts so many people behind them because they're squiggling everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And what about off the track? Is there anybody that, social media or, maybe like even in the pits, how they act, or is everybody pretty well behaved?
Everyone's pretty well behaved. Honestly, okay. I don't find anything annoying off track. It's just on track.
Okay. All right. So what do you think, what qualities does it take to be successful in race car driving as a race car driver?
I would say good sportsmanship too, just so you wouldn't get like different way to say it.
Oh, that's
Just
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, if you're not a good sport, then you're going to get a bad reputation, and so that's a pretty important thing. And to recognize that even if you're having a bad day, sometimes you just have to suck it up and be like, okay, well, there's another race next weekend for sure. So,
Yep.
Do you have any marketing partners that you want to mention?
There's quite a few. I have to remember all of them because they're all really good sponsors. Car Care Lawton, Berkeley Racing, was it Hammerlane, right? Hammerlane, so many more.
That's okay. Maybe you'll think of some. Go ahead.
FTR. I swear, there's so many more than forgetting. Neff. Yeah, Neff, FTR.
That's okay. You know what? Send me a list and we'll put them in the show notes. How's that? I put you on the spot, so that was not fair for me. Send me a list of them and we'll put the sponsors in the show notes, and then everybody knows, because you can't do it without them, right? Right. Yeah, absolutely. So what has been your biggest obstacle in your racing career?
Overall, just myself. Overall, trying to get over it's myself. The obstacles that I have to overcome are myself. Like when I'm out there on the track, I have to think of my line all the time. There's times where I mess up and I like all of that. Overall, it's mainly just myself. I have to overcome the obstacles myself.
Okay. So you kind of got to get focused and be really, really focused on the racing. And sometimes that's hard, isn't it? Because there's other things that come across your mind for sure. Yeah. So what 3 words would your crew, or maybe since your crew is your family, what would they use to describe you?
They would describe me as, let's say, nice, energetic, and a little chaotic here and there.
Okay. Do you have somebody that inspires you or has inspired you to do better as a race car driver?
A lot of people, honestly.
Okay.
I look up to a lot of people.
And is it other women or men at your track, or who are they? I mean, you don't have to name them by name, but like what's been their role, how they've inspired you?
There's a lot of people, but there's one that really sticks out. It's Emily Lowry. I really like how she drives, and she doesn't let anyone like push her over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She doesn't let anyone push her over. And she's aggressive on the track. Like I said, she doesn't let anyone push her over.
That's good. That's good. So, prior to going out on the track, what's your job on race day to be prepared to go out there and win the race?
Remember my line. Just overall focus on how to drive. Make sure you check out the track beforehand, see how the track works. Just overall, like, watch the track to know how the track goes.
Okay.
And then just make sure everything on the car itself is good, set up, and ready to go for the race.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. What is something about yourself or your driving that you would like to improve on?
I want to get just a little bit more aggressive, just so because not many people push me around that much, but just a little bit more.
Okay. All right. So do you use social media to like promote your team or your racing, tell how you've done? How do you use it, or who does it for you?
My dad does it for me.
Okay. And so how could somebody follow you on social media?
Pretty sure Facebook.
Is it your name or what is it? Jordan Druschke Racing or what?
Yeah, I think it's Jordan Druschke Racing.
Okay. All right. So they could follow you or see how you've done and where you're going to be racing, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So what is it off season now, or are you still racing?
I'm still racing. Actually, coming up this weekend, there's going to be a 3-day race that I'm going to go to.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. So when the off season comes, what do you do during the off season?
We race year round. We do winter series, outdoor series. It's all year round. There's usually not an off season for us.
There's not. So you just keep going and going and going, right?
Mhm.
All right. Have you done anything daring outside of driving a race car?
Not really. I don't think so.
No,
Not that I
not
can
yet.
come up with yet.
Maybe someday, but
Maybe
not yet.
someday.
So have you had any crashes?
Oh, yeah. I've had a couple flips over. So,
Okay. But did you get hurt? You were okay?
no, I was
Good.
okay all the time.
How's that feel when you're flipping?
Oh, there's so many different kinds. It depends on how you flip, because there's those slow flips that's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And then there's the fast flips like, oh, that happened.
Boom, went quick. Yeah.
Oh, I'm on my wing now.
Yeah. That's not good, but it happens, doesn't it? It
Mhm.
happens to pretty much anybody.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me see what else. I'm going to turn the page here. I wrote some questions down so that I would ask you some different ones other than what we did in the magazine, because we did feature you in the magazine. So, have you only ever raced karts? Have you ever done anything kind of different, like race lawnmowers or anything?
No, I've only ever raced. Oh, well, there was I think maybe 1 or 2 races that I raced a junior sprint in, but otherwise it was just
Okay.
karts.
Okay. Because lawnmower racing is a big thing. Did you know that?
Fun.
Yeah,
Seems
I
really
think
fun.
that would be fun. I think I would like to do that. That sounds like fun to me. So,
My dad would like to do that.
yeah. Have you ever thought about racing in some kind of a different series? Like, do you race on dirt or asphalt?
I originally raced on asphalt, but now I'm only dirt.
Okay, so there's lots of other kinds of things to race, like lawnmowers or late models, rallycross. Have you thought about that, or do you want to just keep moving up and racing sprint cars?
I think I'll just keep moving up and racing sprint cars. I haven't thought of anything else.
Okay, all right. Do you play any kind of racing games, like or game simulators or iRacing? Do you do any of that?
I have one app on my phone that I race little sprint carts on.
Okay, all right. And is that fun?
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you
my
think that
brother
helps
has it
you?
too.
Does that help you with your racing, or it's just something to kind of like a mindless thing to do when you just have some downtime?
It's a bit of both. There's times where like I'm not really focused on the racing part. I just want to play the game. Or there's times where like maybe I'm at the track and I want to remember my line, and I'll go ahead and practice on that game.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. I know that iRacing is a big deal right now. Um, so how do you act on and off the track? Now I know that might not be a fair question, but people usually are pretty honest about that. Whether I'm aggressive, I go after the win, I'm kind of timid, I lay back. What would you say your style of racing is?
Style of racing. Whenever I'm out there, I want to go forward. I'm not aiming for the win, but I want to go forward. I don't want to go back and yeah. But there's times where I can be aggressive and I will move forward, or there's times where like I need to be timid, so I would stay back just a little bit, just so I
Yeah.
don't pile up and crash or something.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So you're conscious of the other drivers, and yet you do your best to get to the front.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So whether it be racing or school or whatever, and the reason I ask this question is because I hear this so often. Have you ever felt like you didn't fit in? And if so, where and when was it?
Mainly at school, because a lot of people they're more social than I am. At school, I'm a little bit more to myself. I'm more focused on trying to get the notes down or something. I usually don't really talk to people during class because I'm doing notes.
Yeah. Okay. So if you had one day off that you could do anything in the world, no expense. It was, what would be your one thing that you'd really love to do?
I would either travel or I would go and pet all the cats I can find.
You would do what?
I would either travel to my favorite place, which I don't really know.
Okay.
Oh no, I would go to Disneyland. Yeah.
Okay, you go to Disneyland. Okay, good answer. And because there's no expense barred, you can go and do whatever you want. So it'd be Disneyland. That's a very common answer. And my daughter actually is a travel agent, and she specializes in trips to Disneyland and Disney World, Disney cruises, all of the everything Disney. Although she can plan your travel for anywhere, she is an expert on Disney. So if you ever plan a trip, you'll have to have my daughter plan it for you, because she'll get you in and out of all the good places for sure. Yeah.
I'll remember that.
Yeah. So do you think you have, being a woman or a girl in racing, is that a benefit to you at all? Or are there challenges? Or how do you feel about that?
I would say it's a bit of like both. There's not really many benefits to it, because even being a male, I feel like there's still not that many benefits. But being like a female in a, I think, supposed boy sport, it has a couple ups and downs, because the boys like to rough you around. The boys don't really like if you pass them for first or something, because they could be so nice, and then as soon as you pass them for first, they're they can get so rude.
Do you think that as a girl that you get maybe a little more attention from the announcers or the crowd, or not really?
Nope. I feel like I get most attention from the announcers just by the way I drive, not because I'm a female, which is proud of that.
That's good. That is, you should be proud of that. So if a little girl and her mom came up to you and said, is this a good sport for girls to be involved in? What would be your answer?
I would say yes. If you really wanted to do it, you should go for it.
Yeah, because why do you think it's a good sport for girls? What do you learn from being a race car driver?
Being a race car driver, you learn that no one can really push you around. And then you also learn how much someone can actually respect you and all that. There's a lot, like race drivers, my bad. We respect each other a lot. We don't really say anything bad unless doof. But there's a lot of respect around the racetrack, and it's overall a really good environment to be in. So
yeah, that's good. And you do make really good friends. I feel like, even if you're competitive on the track, most of the time you're very good friends off the track. And that's something that I think is unique to motorsports more so than any other sport. Yeah,
because you can be competitive on the track, but as soon as you're off the track, you say good job and it's good.
Right. Absolutely. So we're going to do some quick questions, and most of them are just 1 or 2 word answers. So this is going to be fun, and it's just easy for you to answer. So here we go. You ready? Okay. What's your favorite food?
Chicken. Yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant?
We'll just go with Subway. I like Subway. I like sandwiches.
Subway. How about favorite color?
Favorite color? We'll go with red or blue.
Favorite animal?
Cat.
Favorite vacation destination? We already know Disneyland.
Disneyland.
What's your favorite number?
1.
Favorite candy?
Sour Patch Kids.
Favorite racetrack?
Minko. It's a tie between Minko and Shawnee.
Okay. Do you have a favorite movie, actor, or actress?
Ooh, no. I don't
How
really
about
know.
favorite book or series of books?
My favorite book and movie are The Outsiders. I love those movies.
Okay. All right. Do you have a favorite musician or song?
Not really. I like all music.
Okay. What kind of music do you like the most?
Whatever's trending, honestly.
Okay. So
there's some that I don't like though.
Okay.
It's a tie between country and pop.
Okay. What's your favorite holiday?
Halloween.
Halloween. I hear that so much, but I never did like Halloween ever.
I love all of them.
I'm not a Halloween person. What's your favorite TV show?
I don't know that one.
Do you watch much TV?
I do. I guess I don't have a favorite, I guess.
Okay. There's not a show that every Tuesday night at 8:00 you have to be home to see it. Okay, well that's good. How about a favorite subject in school?
Like I said, a tie between math and Spanish.
Okay. A favorite racing movie?
Ooh. To think that. Days of Thunder.
Oh
something.
yeah, for sure. It's a classic. What's your favorite thing to celebrate?
My birthday. I like my birthday.
Yeah. What's your favorite seasons? Summer, spring, fall, or winter?
I like fall.
Okay. Why do you like fall?
I think it's just the environment. It's really calming. It's just nice to be in.
Yeah.
Summer's too hot for me. Winter's, and then spring, my allergies are off the walls.
Yeah. And fall, I'm sitting here in my office looking out and the trees are all turning and it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
It's amazing. I love fall.
Yeah. What's your favorite smell?
My favorite smell? Ooh.
Mhm.
That's a good question. I don't really know that one.
Okay.
The first smell that came to mind, though, was cinnamon for some reason.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know why.
that's good. That's because it's fall and we're
Yeah.
smelling pumpkin and cinnamon and apple and all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, what are 3 things you would leave in a time capsule for someone to find?
Time capsule. Let's see. What's something that next generation probably would have? It's a good question.
Things that change a lot, you know?
Things that change a lot. So, I'll leave my favorite blanket in there because that's probably really soft, and I don't know if that's going to be around evermore.
Right.
Favorite
Okay.
blanket. I'll leave a pencil in there.
Okay.
Pencil, and then it seems like technology is really taking over, so I don't just throw paper in there too.
Yeah, exactly. Because at some point, we're probably not going to be using much paper, are we? For sure. Yeah. So, Jordan, what is something that I haven't asked you or talked to you about that you'd like to share, either about yourself or your race car driving?
Myself, I like to draw a lot. You haven't asked me what my hobbies are outside.
No, tell me what your hobbies are.
I really like to draw. I that's why I think, now that I think of it, if I'm good like college or something, I'm probably gonna go for like graphic designer or something, because I do spend a lot of time drawing and all that.
Okay. That sounds good.
I play outside a lot too. These
Yeah.
past couple of days since I'm inside, I play outside with my brothers a lot. It's really enjoyable.
And do you live in the country or do you live in town?
It's a bit of both. More like in the country though.
Okay. So it's nice outside and you've got room to roam. Yeah. Awesome. That's great.
Giant backyard.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So, what else? What else have I not asked you about?
You asked me a good couple questions. I don't know what else to ask.
All right. Is your mom sitting there with you?
Nope, just my dad.
Oh, your dad. So
Mom.
maybe check with him. Ask him if there's anything that you should have told me that I didn't ask. Is there anything?
Is there anything?
Just like your upcoming schedule, like what you're going to be doing as far as racing goes, like
okay. So
West Coast Nationals in March.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So tell us what you got coming up. There you go.
There we go.
Thanks,
Good
Dad.
Like I said, this weekend, the 3-day race, and then we have the, what's it called? The
Motorsports Indoor Series.
Indoor series, but I'm saying the one in March. The
West Coast Nationals.
West Coast Nationals in March that we're gonna go to.
Okay, and where is that?
Red Wolf, California.
Red Wolf, California.
Okay, so that'll be fun.
My bad.
Red Rock, California.
Red Bluff. My English is
Red
bad.
Bluff,
There.
California. Okay. And so how far away is that from you? How long of a drive is that going to be?
Pretty far.
Pretty far? Yeah, because you're in the middle of the country and that's all the way on the West Coast. Yeah. But that sounds like something you're going to really look forward to. And is it more than a couple of days that you're going to be there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a fun trip. So that's kind of your spring break trip in a way.
That is probably my entire spring break.
Yeah. Yeah. But would you rather be doing something else or going to the racetrack?
Going to the racetrack. It gives
Yeah.
me something to do.
Right.
I like racing too. So
And then will there be other people there that you race against or all new people?
we're actually traveling with the people that we're gonna race against. The Berkeley Racing. We're gonna be traveling with them to California, and then we're gonna be racing against them in California. And then the rest of them are probably some new people that I haven't seen.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds fun. I'm excited for you. So make sure that you get that on your website or on your Facebook page so people can follow. And then I'm sure your dad puts the results on there so that we know how you did. And, I don't have any other questions unless you have something else you want to say or you want to share.
I would share like my new kitten, but I don't have a single clue where she is.
Oh, and what's the kitten's name?
Her name's Nyx. She's a tabby.
Okay. All right. I like cats. My husband has a dog. I put up with the dog. I'm really not a big dog person, but I tolerate the dog. And so that's the pets that we have, because as we've gotten older and we want to travel, then it's harder to have a pet, so we have our dog. He's getting old, and once he goes, my husband says no more. So we'll see. Yeah. Well, Jordan, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I enjoyed having your story in the magazine. We can blame your dad for going to that birthday party and taking you with him for your love of racing. So he can't really say anything bad, can he, about that, because it's kind of his fault. And so we'll blame dad for that. But it's funny how just the smallest thing that you don't think is going to change your life really changed your life, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that I wouldn't think would have changed anything that I would have done.
Yeah, for sure. So you never know. You've always got to be open to new things and what's happening and be open to those. So, well, I'm proud of you, Jordan. I'm proud of the way you race and what kind of a young woman you are. And so, thank you for being on the podcast, and I will talk to you again soon, and I will be watching what's going on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as well.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Racing Girls Rock Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at International Women's Motorsports Association or on Instagram and Twitter at the IWMA Nation. And if you know someone that should be on our show, drop us an email at iwmanation@gmail.com.